Hey everyone, this is going to be a bit of a shorter, more serious video, just to kind of discuss where I've been in my current situation with my college and university journey. So to cover the ground since spring semester ended, I didn't do very well in spring semester. I was having issues with the dorms and trying to hold down a job that was having me get off shifts at midnight, and a number of other compounding factors. I did pass most of my classes though, so that was good. I didn't get kicked out. I do need to boost my GPA though, so over the summer I've been taking summer classes. I'm taking three of them. One spans the entire summer, which is retaking my chem class. That's the one class I didn't pass. And summer one, the one I'm almost done with, that one I'm taking the final exam for on Thursday, is Introduction to Binary Systems or Digital Systems, which I'm actually really good at that class. I'm currently getting an A, and I'm really enjoying it. I actually thoroughly enjoy my major classes. And I'm very confident about the summer two class, which is introduction. I think it was introduction, or was it just straight up? What's it called? Object-oriented programming one. My associates, for those of you who don't know, I have an associate's degree in video game programming. When you program a video game, it's literally at its core just a bunch of object-oriented programming. So I'm very confident about that class. So how I've been surviving, for those of you who have been keeping up with me on Snap, trying to maintain housing on campus was just too expensive because you have to pay so much in one go. And as such, I actually moved off campus into my own apartment. This is the first time I actually rented an apartment of my own. I got a really good deal where it's a one-bedroom apartment for only $400 a month. All utilities are included except for electricity, which I have to pay on my own. That's why I'm going to be shutting these lights off as soon as I'm done filming. I've been surviving by just trying to keep my bills down as much as possible. I started working two jobs while kind of using every hack and trick I can to stay on a healthy diet and avoid a lot of the unhealthy habits that not only wrecked my bodily health but also was draining my budget. I'm actually 1 month fast food free, which is a huge deal for me. Last year, I actually went over 2 months without eating any fast food, and I felt great because I was avoiding a lot of the oils and greases and sodiums that were very rich in those foods. And it just kind of helped my mental and physical state because I would feel less sluggish. I've been eating a lot of chicken. I recently got a Walmart rotisserie chicken, so that's been pretty good. I've been eating a lot of tuna salad because I can make it in bulk and essentially meal prep it. I need to get back to making those burritos because those burritos were a lifesaver. That's my current living situation. I'll go ahead and take y'all on a quick tour. I filmed of the apartment just to give y'all a sense of where I'm living right now because I am actually proud of what I've set up in the space so far. So let's go ahead and cut to that. So welcome back to the beanbag. Okay, I've never actually shot a vlog style video before on iPhone, but I'm going to try and give y'all the full apartment tour. So we have my kitchen. It kind of gives me a bit of an old kitchen aesthetic. I have the fridge, the stove, the whole 9 yards. It is a full kitchen, so I'm very happy with that. I set up my, don't mind the junk, I don't have shelving yet. I set up my desktop computer on the kitchen counter because I don't have a desk right now. But it does work. I have it all rigged up and plugged in. My desk is 6 hours away though. I got the TV stand and the TV I actually got both for free on Facebook Marketplace. People were just putting stuff out on the side of the road. I hooked up all my game engines and stuff, my consoles. I kind of started a new habit where I only play on weekends, Friday through Sunday. And I've actually found that boosts my productivity a lot. But I do have the full nerd set down there. There are Skylanders in that box down there. And my other games and whatnot, and some DVDs. Because I cancel a lot of my streaming services. Those books will go on a shelf when I can afford shelves. They do actually let me nail stuff to the walls in here, so that's really fun. That closet just goes to the hot water heater. This closet has a bunch of cleaning supplies and stuff in it. If we go over here, we do have we have my bathroom. It's just a pretty average sized bathroom. There is a towel closet back here, so that's nice. Storage above the commode, shower. I do my best to keep everything pretty clean. That rug needs to be, I need to get a vacuum cleaner though. That rug doesn't need to be vacuumed, but I keep everything else pretty clean. This is the bedroom. I mostly have just put a bunch of junk in here. I have my tabletop game collection. If you're wondering how big a nerd I am, that's actually downsized. I did paint all of the miniatures in the Dark Souls game a long time ago, Dark Souls the board game. I don't like to show them off that much because they're actually not my best work. Um, Other tech junk and a project for later. I don't currently use this room for sleeping because the air conditioner is in the living room and doesn't reach all the way back here. When I do get my bed and move it in here, I plan to put a window unit in that window right there. That's what a lot of people in this building do. And this is the closet. I don't usually have all the lights on to save electricity, but I did turn it on for the tour. Um, I have my wardrobe and some other stuff that I also don't have. What do you call it? Stuff for. That's my sister's electric guitar that I brought. She quit learning to play, but I actually really want to learn to play it. But I can't afford new strings or an amp or lessons or anything, but I'm giving it a shot. It's a Gibson, so it does deserve to be played. A lot of my wardrobe doesn't fit me right now because I have been losing weight, as y'all who follow me on Snapchat know. But it's a journey, it's a progress, just like everything else. One of my friends described it as I'm basically playing the Sims, upgrading the house one bit at a time. Turn off the lights. And if you're wondering where I am sleeping for the last month or so, this has been my bed. This is a beanbag I got for 20 bucks on Facebook. I know it's a little sad, but that's all I can afford right now. And I'm currently saving up to hopefully at some point when I can afford to get a U-Haul, and just U-Haul my furniture from my parents' place up here, and just have my entire life up here, as I do like Lubbock. But that does bring me to the main topic of the video, I guess. Okay, after doing this many and having to free space on my phone, I realized the audio is a little clunky. I apologize for that. I'll try to speak as clearly as possible. I currently don't have a microphone to hook up to my iPhone. I have one for my computer, but it doesn't work with my phone because of Apple product. So I can cover some ground bases. This is my first time living alone. Last year, when I was in El Paso for an internship, I lived several months on my own in a dorm on campus, and I thoroughly enjoyed living on my own. I kind of survived just by decreasing a lot of my food budget, which I do by using more raw product like the rotisserie chickens from Walmart or vegetables and meal prepping a lot. That definitely helps reduce the needed budget for food. But my main concern right now is how I am going to pay for college. I'm in a position where my parents, our parents that adopted us, have reverse mortgaged their house. So when they pass away, me and my 3 siblings won't inherit a house the way some others might. Me and my second oldest brother, I think, could scrape by on our own. He and I both have been able to hold down jobs for long periods of time. I've been working since I was 17. I was the first out of my siblings to get a standard job in the workforce. However, my oldest brother and our sister, I do not believe could make it. They're both, for different reasons, mostly mental, incapable of providing for themselves, which is very concerning to me. We won't have no one in our family is going to own a house when our parents pass away. That house is going to go to the bank. I am currently scraping by making about $1K a month by working 2 jobs. I work in retail on Saturdays and Sundays, and I work as a delivery driver for a local restaurant most weekdays. I get pretty decent tips sometimes, but that only goes so far. When you total up my rent and other costs, car insurance, gas, electric bill, internet, it totals up to a little over $700 a month. When you factor things like food, I have less than $300 between everything I've spent per month and my income, which is not nearly enough to make my college payments. This discrepancy and the current social and economic class I fit into puts me above most programs that can help me pay for college, but below the actual point where I can actually pay for it. Whenever I go to the financial aid office, I get the same 2 answers. Go to Sallie Mae and get a cosigner to help you get a loan, which my parents refuse to cosign for anything. I don't know anyone who would cosign. And have your parents build a Parent Plus loan, which my parents also vehemently refuse. They've offered every help they are willing to give, and despite my explanation of the current economic climate, my father's only advice is, well, just drop out, save up enough money, and just go to college. And I'm like, at $200 a month, and the fact that it's roughly after FAFSA, it's roughly anywhere from 1 to 2 to even sometimes 3 or 4K, depending on the classes being taken per semester. That's just taking 12 hours every semester. It would take me years to save up that money. And by then, some of my credits will expire, and then I'll lose scholarship opportunities, and it'll look even worse in my resume. I'll be graduating after the point that I'm like 30 to 35. Possibly even 40 if I'm being honest. At this point, I'm basically barking up every tree, both on and off campus, that I can find to try and find some program or help that I can get to pay for my continuing education. I tried looking into ROTC because several people recommended that. The problem is I have a history of seizures. I'm on medication for this, which adds to my monthly expenses, and that medical history prevents me from being accepted into any formal ROTC program. They don't really have a program specifically for engineering students on campus that I can find. They kind of just expect you to be able to make up the difference between FAFSA and your funds on your own, because clearly you're going for engineering, you must be from a rich family. Well, I'm not. I'm actually trying to escape the cycle of just scraping by that my family has been in since before I was born. The only current thing I can do, the only current option I have, is to start a GoFundMe to try and make the $875 payment by July 25th. I will try and get that started tonight, get the process started. And after that, I have no clue what I'm going to do for fall and spring semester. I'm going to follow up on some leads I have, but again, I can't really guarantee anything, and I don't want to drop out of school right now. I want to go to the career fairs and try to get internships, try to get jobs with these major companies that show up for our engineering students. Tech has a lot of good programs for that, but you have to make the tuition payments first. So I hope I can get some support for the GoFundMe. I know this has been kind of a dour video, but that's kind of where I am right now. I'm in a very dour position in terms of my college journey. I want to pursue certain passions and see if that can turn into something. I'm going to try my best and pursue content creation a little more seriously. I kind of have this thing going on in the back of my head where I go, okay, well, this would make a great video idea, or hey, I can make content starting this. And immediately I start comparing in my head. I know the comparisons are going to be made between me and other creators. I'm not going to be able to be on the level as them or the skill level as them, and I won't have that audience. And I've already gotten comments like that for my last video or videos I made previously. And I think I need to kind of just ignore that self-critique and critique from others and simply try and make content at least once a month or once a week, depending on how much time I can dedicate to it, as I'm busy with 2 jobs and school. But I will be giving an earnest effort towards content creation. My body's not built for OnlyFans, and my feet ain't cute enough for FootFinder, so gotta hope YouTube and Twitch make it. I just really need to make enough to keep my apartment, because this is the best deal I could find in Lubbock. $400 a month for a 1-bedroom. That's amazing. And once I eventually save up, I'm trying to raise enough funds for a U-Haul so I can move my stuff up here. I'll have an actual bed then. I'll have an actual desk for my computer. I have a futon that can make up the living room. I have a bunch of kitchen appliances at my parents' place that I own. I have an air fryer that can be used to fry a lot of foods without having to use the excessive oils that would be needed otherwise. I have different utensils and tools that can really boost my kitchen game and help with meal prep. I have a slow cooker, for one. I have a coffee maker which will help reduce my energy drink consumption, because I do have a caffeine problem. But I am learning to manage that, partially because of my budget. But that's just currently an update on where I am right now. I hope you all enjoyed the apartment tour, and hopefully I can get some support on the GoFundMe. If y'all have any other recommendations on how I can make the final summer payment and fund at least the fall semester, then let me know. I'm definitely looking for engagement in the comments, so any support or encouragement or advice would be welcome. I hope you all have a great night. Thank you for listening, and cheers.